Hello, Brian James here from Brian James Photography. Well, it's been a grim time for photographers recently, what with the third lockdown due to COVID in the UK and our cold, dark and wet British winters. Travelling for photo assignments, as well as being against the guidance, has been somewhat inappropriate, so the chance of a sunny day gave the opportunity to visit somewhere I've not visited for some years, even though it's close by. The majestic Viaduct at Lambley, in the west of Northumberland. A great way for some gentle exercise and a few snapshots. The Viaduct, and part of the route, were originally built by the Newcastle and Carlisle Railway Company, with the viaduct opening on the 17th of November 1852. Designed by railway engineer Sir George Barclay Bruce, it was the final link in the Hullwhistle to Alston branch line in the South Tyne Valley. I took along my trusty Olympus OMD EM1 Mark I and a kit lens, the Lumix 12-60mm f3.5 to 5.6 zoom. I'm a big fan of modern kit lenses. Although not super fast or super sharp, they are ideal for walks like this in the country, and they're robust and affordable. Yes, it's unlikely I would use it on a client shoot, but walks like this are very usually photographed for memories and the love of the art. Maybe they will be posted on social media, where the online software such as Facebook and Instagram will downsize the quality anyway. We started our journey at Cornwood and headed east along the path of the old single line railway. Nature has done what it does best and reclaimed the land back from mankind along the banks. This leaves the rather odd sight of an old buffer stop with trees straight in front of it, right where the trains would have previously stopped. With the family going on ahead, through an alleyway of trees, I got the chance to find some of the artefacts of the railway, such as the old platform wall of Cornwood Station. The station was opened in July 1951, with a permanent station being built in 1877 to 1878. It was closed on May the 3rd, 1976, when the line closed as the last surviving passenger branch line in the rural northeast of England, mainly because of the inadequacy of local roads and the sometimes savage winters around the terminus of Alston. At 1,000 foot above sea level, it is England's highest market town. At this time of year, the trees are totally devoid of foliage, and the intricate patterns of trunks, roots and branches can be clearly seen. A walk of only 3/4 of a mile brings us to the wonderful viaduct, comprising of 9 17-metre spans in the centre and 7 smaller 6-metre spans, 3 at one end, 4 at the other. The view is quite magnificent from the Grade 2 listed sandstone structure as you cross the river South Tyne, and it's been restored to its former glory during 1995 to 1996. It really is well cared for by its owners, the North Pennines Heritage Trust. Down the steep steps to the south of the bridge at the eastern end gives us the opportunity to photograph the superstructure from midway down its height. Seeing underneath its arches and exposing its Victorian Industrial Revolution stonemasonry. In its day, engineering such as this was every bit as cutting edge as any modern project is today, and structures such as these were seen as something of a marvel of modern engineering. I wonder how many of our civil projects will be still around in another 170 years from now. After crossing the Tyne on the viaduct, I returned via the more modern footbridge. Only some 20 foot off the river, it is considerably lower than its sibling beside it, yet crossing the viaduct felt safe. This felt more rickety and perhaps dangerous. Walking west again, I followed the riverbank for another half a mile or so, heading back to where we had left the car at Cornwood. And the little Olympus and Lumix lens are an ideal carry camera combination. Light, small, yet highly effective. I remember carrying my Canon 5D Mark II and 7D on trips such as this, with a 24 to 105mm lens, and by the time I finished, my arms would be aching with the weight. Now, before I go on, if you're enjoying this or any of the other videos, then please hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up to like it. It only takes a second and it helps so much to make YouTube promote it for others to enjoy. And if you press the bell below, then YouTube will automatically notify you when the next video is uploaded. As I said earlier, Northern England is known for its rain, flooding the fields and making the paths muddy. But the payoff are the lush greens all year round. Be it grass meadows or lichen and moss on walls and tree branches, the green is dominant. I often find that I spend time in the editing dulling down the intensity of the green, especially when shooting on bright days after a period of rain. The moisture seems to be nature's own saturation slider, set to max. Now, if you've read any of my earlier blog posts, you'll know that I have a visual interest in tree stumps and felled trees. They tell a story, and that's what we're taking photos of, really, isn't it? To tell a story. This monster was around 1.5 meters in diameter, and its pattern of rings told me its age. An easy few hundred years old at a guess, but with its rotten core we'll never know for sure. One thing is certain though, looking at the differences in the coloration, our atmosphere has changed a lot in its lifetime. More beautiful foliage before we return to where we started. Only a 2-mile walk, but so much to see. So, a wonderful day of photography and exercise, escaping the lockdown for an hour or two, and in the fresh air for a change. So until the next time, enjoy your photography. Take a camera with you wherever you go and enjoy what you shoot. Bye bye.